Hi, I'm Shalane from TSC Tuition, and today I'll be talking about revision things for English language now that we are in term four. Oh my goodness, the exam is so close. It's a couple of weeks away. What are we going to do to maximize your efforts at getting a good score, right, in that exam? So, for English language, the most important thing is always going to be the meta language. You need to know these things. You need to know the words, you need to know the vocabularies, you need to know what they mean, you need to know examples for them. It is so important for students to know the meta language for this subject because, let's face it, you've only had like 2 years at this, right? At most. These are not things that they teach you in year 8 or in year 9, right? Unlike BCE English and EAL, where they already start teaching kids about themes and characters and those kind of literary meta language. They've had more time to learn that. You have not. So my advice is jump on those flashcard Quizlet apps, right, and make your own flashcards. Make sure you're going through them, dedicate like 20-30 minutes a day every day to really revising that. We have a set of Quizlet cards that are available for free if you need them for your revision. So I'll put the link in the description. Jump on that if you need them. I do advise that you make your own. There is nothing quite so helpful for your memory as making your own flashcards. I do also prefer, that's my personal preference, I do also prefer the physical paper flashcards that I can look at, have in my bag, stick around the house. I do find that personally helpful. Some people don't, it's up to you. So, but either way, you need them. You need to know these words because they are so foundational to this subject. My other advice, my second piece of advice, is to practice analytical commentary. It is so helpful to do loads of practice for that because you have not had that much time, again, right, in looking at these pieces of text as discourse. You have not had that experience over, years 7 to 12. You've only had year 11 to 12. Some of you have only got year 12. So it's so important to just look at these examples, find as many as you can, and just pull out as many language features as you can and write and write and write. You can find these pieces of discourse anywhere. You can find, say the referendum is coming up, right? So there's heaps of little pamphlets and things like that flying around that are going to be really helpful. Any kind of newspaper article, any kind of letter to the editor, any kind of listicle is really helpful. We find them everywhere. Reddit is an unmined source of just lots and lots of discourse, and you find lots of different kinds of language features on there as well, depending on the subreddit, right? So you want to look widely for these example pieces to practice your analytical commentary on. And lastly, my advice for English language students is to make sure that you find as many real world examples for every single language feature that you have got on your flashcards, right? On your memory cards. It is so important to have examples to demonstrate that language feature because it is not enough to just know the definition of a language feature. It is useless to you if you can only talk about the definition of a language feature but cannot identify it, or you don't have an example of it. It is worth nothing, really, if you can't do that. So make sure on your flashcards, on those definitions, you also have, I would suggest, like 2 to 3 real world examples of that language feature so that you have plenty to talk about if you get a question on it, or if you see a similar example in your analytical commentary discourse piece. So it is, I cannot stress this enough. Your flashcards and analytical commentaries are the most important things in your revision for the exam moving forward. So I hope that was helpful. As always, like and subscribe to our social media channels so that you can see our stuff pop up on your social media channels. We also have a newsletter for parents and tutors looking for advice on how to support their teens in their English studies. So make sure you're subscribed to that if you'd like to get that straight in your email inbox. Lastly, if you'd like to get some one-to-one tutoring, maybe not for the exam this year, but maybe you have a student who's doing English language later on in the coming years, please contact us and let's see how we can support them in our one-to-one online sessions. Thanks for watching.